What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chimpact, and today I will be talking about my team against Monotui. So, this is team 4. As you can see, I have 3 other teams that I could have brought against Monotui, but this is the team that I decided that is going to be. It might not be the best one, but it's the one that I'm most comfortable with. And I guess it would also be the best one. I'm not really too sure. I'm very tired right now. I decided to record the other 3 teams as well into one team builder, and I decided that was an hour long, not an hour long video, but a half an hour long video. And I decided, you know what, that's way too long for a team builder, so I'm just gonna cut it down to around 10 minutes for this. So I'm gonna talk about some of the Pokemon that I decided to not bring against Monotui. So I'm going to just take a quick look at my team, which I actually don't have right now, so I'm gonna try to just remember it. So I have a Bulu. I decided not to bring Bulu because it allows the Charizard to come in, and I'm forced on a Kiwi Berry to deal with Keldeo, and Weavile can Ice Skull Crash me, and that's pretty much it. Like, those couple Pokemon, as well as the fact that I can't really do too much damage to Rotom Cut, and it can take advantage of me by Will-O-Wisping me, by going for HP Poison or HP Fire. I feel like the Rotom would run HP Poison over HP Fire. No, HP Fire over HP Poison, just because it deals decent damage to Bulu, as well as the fact that it can deal with Ferrothorn especially well, of course. So Bulu does have decent matchup against some of his Pokemon, but against the other couple Pokemon on his team, I don't really like it. Bulu can likely beat the Registeel one-on-one, but I don't like it against the rest of his team, like I said. Like, offensively, it really deals well with his team, but it invites in Charizard, which is just so stupid. Like, his best defensive answer to Bulu is Charizard. Like, that's just stupid to me. So I'm definitely not going to bring Bulu. Well, it's not definitely, but I do not feel comfortable bringing Bulu. There's no Ferrothorn, similar to the reason why I'm not bringing Bulu either, because Rotom takes advantage of it, as well as the fact that Charizard also takes advantage of it. So I didn't like bringing Pokemon that allows him to really take advantage of my Pokemon, even though Ferrothorn and Bulu can be pretty good offensively. Ferrothorn just does a ton of damage to Jarbol against his team, as well as Leech Seed, just to really be annoying against him. But other than that, like, Ferrothorn doesn't really do too much other than Setup Hazards, Leech Seed, and Jarbol. So I didn't feel comfortable using Ferrothorn. Camerupt I almost brought over the Zygarde set here, but I feel like Zygarde, the speed, being able to outspeed Keldeo is super important, and the Camerupt would have been a little awkward to use because I would have to bring it in. Like, if I bring it against Snorlax, right? It's an even matchup kind of, but the Snorlax has recovery, my Camel wouldn't, and like, I would just get up Stealth Rock and leave. Against Registeel, I just get up Stealth Rock and leave. That's good. Like, against Registeel, that's good. Against Rotom, I'm also good, but Leaf Storm's still doing a ton of damage. Against Charizard, that's the best case scenario, because I absolutely destroy Charizard. Because Dragon Claw might be a 2-hit KO, but Earth Power is actually an OHKO, so yeah, like, I might also be able to not get 2-hit KO'd by Dragon Claw. I'm not too sure. I never ran into calcs because I didn't really take Camera too seriously. But yeah, if it's not 2-hit kill me, it's not 2-hit kill me. There's Drifblim. I feel like that Pokemon is way too easily handled by his team, and if I wanted to, like, baton pass substitutes, it's not really. It really doesn't help because he has too many good defensive Pokemon that he can pivot into to break the sub and be able to handle my Spiritomb or Spiritomb. What is my ghost? Drifblim. Victini was close, but like, a lot of these Pokemon I didn't bring because Charizard is just so oppressive versus them. Like, V-Create Victini, there's Pursuit Weavile and Pursuit Snorlax with Thick Fat, which I don't think that he's gonna bring. But if he does bring Comfy, then I feel like he would bring Thick Fat Snorlax to pair up with Comfy to deal with Nihilego and whatever other Pokemon that Comfy can't beat if it has, like, U-turn. Like, Comfy is really good because it can set up and just U-turn out, which, like, you might think is counterproductive, but it really doesn't matter because it can heal back up the damage that it took with Draining Kiss and Synthesis or whatever it wants to do. There's So I said there's 5 Pokemon that I couldn't bring, right? Because we all have 11 Pokemon. So I already said Bulu, Ferrothorn, Drifblim, Victini, Camerupt. So those are the 5 that I didn't bring. So these are the 6 that I did bring. So Dragoness, Thousand Arrows, Coil, E-Speed, Mago Berry, Zydog. This is really cool because if I get up 2 Coils, then I can actually take 2 Ice Shards, or 2 Ice Shards. 1 Ice Shard from Weavile, and E-Speed KOs Weavile after Rocks. +2, +3 E-Speed KOs the Weavile. Dragon Dance allows me to outspeed Keldeo. I was thinking about running Glare over Dragon Dance, but I feel like being able to outspeed Keldeo and also forcing him to play a little bit more, like Dragon Dance plus Coil is interesting, right? Because I don't think that he would think about this set to play around. So if I do go for Dragon Dance, he might utilize Gliscor to deal with this. But if I Coil, then Gliscor is not really the best answer because of the Mago Berry that I also have. So it's just something to think about. This allows, with the Coil, I can set up on the Gliscor, and if I do get 2 Coils and a Dragon Dance, it literally just wins because I'm at +3 at that point, and nothing can take 1,000 arrows at +3. And then I also just KO the Weavile with extreme speed. So his fastest Pokemon that can outspeed me is the Keldeo. So if I just go for 1 Dragon Dance, then I can knock it out. Obviously, if he has the Comfy still, it doesn't matter how much I'm boosted. The Comfy is still going to be able to knock me out with the +3 Triad Draining Kiss. So I can't really play this thing too aggressively when he does have the Comfy, if he is bringing it still available. But Coil plus Mago Berry allows me to really set up on Gliscor, so it's a great aspect for that. Then I have Rocky Helmet Uxie with Memento, Toxic, Psychic, Foul Play. This is a very fast Uxie. I wanted to outspeed Rotom, because if I outspeed Rotom and it wants to go for Defog, then I can Memento, and then I can Memento into my Slurpuff, which is a Belly Drum set. And then he has to deal with the 50-50. Well, not really 50-50. He has to make a decision, a hard decision. Does he want to burn my Slurpuff? Which he could obviously do. It doesn't really matter. Does he... Because if he tries to burn me and I have Sub and I'm faster, that's great for me. Does he want to Volt Switch out and let the hazard stay so that I deal with Charizard and some of his other Pokemon a lot easier? Or does he just Leaf Storm trying to deal damage to me to put me in range of another attack? I don't know, but because of my item on my Slurpuff, all of those are remedied. So the Memento, me being fast, is just great for me. I have Toxic to deal with Charizard and Snorlax and some of his other Pokemon. Slowking. Being able to Toxic those is great. Psychic is just consistent damage. And then Foul Play is my last move to really deal with Charizard. This is my main Charizard answer. And I really need Foul Play to really 2-hit KO it after he sets up a Dragon Dance. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat the Charizard one-on-one with this Uxie, even if I have Rocky Helmet. But it does help a little bit. It also is interesting to know that Draining Kiss plus a couple other moves on his team do take the Rocky Helmet damage. So this Uxie can take on a Comfy decently well because of that with Toxic, but it might have Taunt, so that would be pretty bad. Then I have my main win condition on this team is Dragon Dance Scrafty. So basically what I'm going to try to do here with the Scrafty is try to bait in the Registeel to go for a status move, or bait in a Snorlax to go for a status move if the Snorlax does have a status move. Basically something, Gliscor, something like that, to go for a status move on the Scrafty, so that I have Shed Skin, so I can Dragon Dance up, Drain Punch, Bulk Up, Knock Off. This is similar to my Michael Vick set, but this is just way bulkier. Obviously it's not as fast. So that's another problem. Both of these Pokemon do lose to Comfy. So another reason why I have Rocky Helmet on my Uxie to really deal with that as well. I can set up multiple bulk ups against Gliscor because Gliscor is typically not going to run Aerial Ace. It's likely going to be running Poison Jab to deal with my Bulu instead of Aerial Ace. I don't think Aerial Ace is strong enough Obviously, like poison jab is 2. How much is poison jab? It's times 4, 320 power, while aerialist is 180. So there's a huge difference in power there, as well as the fact that he could break my Kievia berry, pop it for later in case I do heal up to full again. It really wouldn't matter because then Keldeo can just knock me out with poison jab or HP poison the next time that it does come in. So I don't really expect him to run aerial ace just because of those reasons. And just Dragon Dance, Drain Punch, Bulk Up, Knockoff. Dragon Dance after +1, I outspeed Keldeo, and Charizard at +2, I can 2-hit KO pretty much everything on his team outside of Comfy and Glasscore, but Glasscore is setup fodder for the Scrafty, because if he tries to status me, it really won't work. And there's another thing. At +2, right, I can 2-hit kill Keldeo, and Keldeo cannot 2-hit kill me because I'm healing with Drain Punch as well as dealing damage to the Keldeo. So at +2, the Keldeo will not be able to knock me out. So if I Dragon Dance, Keldeo comes in, I can bulk up, then I can Drain Punch as it goes for... the Keldeo can't 2-hit kill me, right? So on the first bulk up, he deals around half. Then I Drain Punch, I do 50% or more, and then he Secret Swords again, and then I'm at very, very low, like around 10 to 20%, and then I Drain Punch again, and I heal up to around 50%. So now I'm at 50% Scrafty, +1 speed, +1 defense, +2 attack. I can 2-hit KO Charizard. Charizard cannot KO me if I Drain Punch it. And if he stays regular, that's great for me because then his damage output is way, way lower. He doesn't get that Tough Claws boost. And if he does Mega Evolve, then the Drain Punch is healing me more because even though he does get a little bit bulkier, he takes twice as much damage because he isn't a flying resist anymore. Well, almost twice as much. And then, like, basically, I want to just knock off the Glasscore and knock it out in one hit. I don't want to go for a knockoff against Glasscore and have it not KO it, if you know what I mean. Because of the lower damage output after I knock out an item. So, obviously, there's consideration for running Iron Head or Poison Jab here somewhere. But I feel like my team handles Uxie decently well, or the Comfy decently well with me having Uxie and this, as well as the fact that 1,000 arrows deals around 50% to it, so he can't stall me out forever, and also Draining Kiss is 50 base power. Then I have the other wing con. It's Slurpuff with Eye of Pop Berry, Belly Drum, Play Rough, Drain Punch Substitute. I have to have my HP divisible by 4 to be able to substitute in Belly Drum and get the Eye of Papa Berry activated. None of this really matters if Stealth Rock or Spikes are up. So there's that, and there's also the fact that like I really didn't want to run substitute. I wanted to run this with this citrus berry because that's going to be a little bit more consistent. Because if I do get the belly drum off, then I don't get the speed. I have to click belly drum and substitute, or belly drum and take a hit, and that's not something that I can really truly plan for like long term. But I can always just click belly drum whenever I want if I was a citrus berry variant, so that I would just get the speed immediately, as well as the fact that return can kill Charizard regular if he doesn't Mega Evolve, and return also doesn't miss in case like I deal damage to the Gliscor around 50%. I can just click return instead of having to rely on Play Rough. I can click return on Rotom and not have to rely on Play Rough hitting. I can click return on Keldeo and not rely on Play Rough hitting if it's taking damage, etc, etc. So return is just way more consistent, but I decided to go with substitute here because of potential status. If the Registeel has Thunder Wave or Toxic or something like that, if I'm in against the Registeel, it's likely going to go for that move instead of Iron Head because of what happened last time. He's going to want to force me to go for Rest way easier because, like, let's say I have Iron Defense again or whatever, Con Guard. He doesn't really care about the damage from Iron Head or Sonic Toss or whatever, because in the long run, Thunder Wave and Toxic is going to help him deal more damage. And then this is pretty much a standard set outside of that. Substitute also helps with Toxic, Gliscor, Will-O-Wisp, Rotom that's slower, and it helps ease predictions in case I have this in. I don't know if I should Belly Drum or attack something, I can just sub. Moving on, I have the Mogwai. Power Gem, Reflect, Stealth Rock, Sludge Wave. Reflect is really nice with Scrafty. I want another Pokemon. So basically, Uxie pairs with my Slurpuff while my Nihilego pairs with Scrafty. Why is this? Well, Scrafty, it doesn't care if it's going to get its Dragon Dance regardless. Whenever I bring in the Scrafty, I'm going to set up a Dragon Dance against whatever I want because of how many setup opportunities I'm going to have. He has a Snorlax, he has a Slowking, he has a Registeel, he has a Gliscor. There's so many Pokemon that I can set up a Dragon Dance on, right? But me clicking Memento to allow me to Dragon Dance, it really doesn't matter because then he just switches and then I'm only a +1, right? But if I do set up the Reflect and then I go into Scrafty, then that means that Charizard is less likely to be a revenge. Keldeo that's physical is less likely able to revenge. I eat up any hit from Snorlax and all of his other physical attackers, right? So then I can bulk up and I only need to Dragon Dance up once or twice and then the rest I can just bulk up. And then even when a Reflect ends, I'm still very, very bulky, so I can take hits. So that's the reason why Reflect works with that. Well, Belly Drum on Slurpuff, I don't need Reflect because I just want the Pokemon that's in against Slurpuff to switch out, and that's what Memento does. So that's the reason for Reflect. Power Gem with Z allows me to OHKO a physically defensive Gliscor a lot of the time. So I really want to be able to beat his Defoggers with my Nihilego. Then I have Stealth Rock and Sludge Wave. There's no knockoff this time, there's no bind. I didn't have room on my team for another Stealth Rock user, so I am using Nihilego. Stealth Rock, even though he does have a Charizard, doesn't really matter that much because I'm still going to do damage to his team. Like if I had Spikes on this team, it would be great because then Scrafty could be forcing switches and then I could get momentum with Greninja and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, like Stealth Rock doesn't really matter, but there's really no other move on Nihilego that's better than Stealth Rock on this particular team anyway. Then my last Pokemon, this actually is going to be my dedicated lead. I should have probably had it in the first slot, but this is Toxapex U-turn, Water Shuriken, Extrasensory. If he decides to bring his Dragaji, that's fine, because if he does go for Draco Meteor, that gives you an opportunity to set up with Scrafty. And basically this entire game, I'm just going to look up for opportunities to set up with Scrafty. If I get the Keldeo Poison, then I really do not need to set up the second bulk up. I can just Drain Punch and I'll be able to deal with the Keldeo that way. I mean, I could always just go for the bulk up, because with the poison I might just be able to knock it out instead of having to go for an additional Drain Punch so that I'm at a healthier amount of HP. Because the sequence is Dragon Dance, he goes to Keldeo, he takes 12 from poison, I bulk up, he goes to the Secret Sword, he takes another 12 from poison, and then Drain Punch doesn't KO, but if he took prior poison damage at 67, there might be a chance for it to KO. And if he is close combat, like I said, then it really doesn't matter, because then I just kill it with double Drain Punch. Or then I just kill it with Drain Punch at +2. And the moveset, U-turn with, I need attack investment because there's no other reason for me to run. Like this 108, it doesn't really need to go in HP because I just want my U-turn to do more damage. He has a Weavile, Rotom, Snorlax. And I think that's, doing a little bit more chip damage to Keldeo is also nice, just because every little bit of chip damage on the Keldeo does matter, because I do have Zygarde, which 2 it kills with a little bit of chip, and then I have Scrafty, which it always appreciates Keldeo chip, because I don't really like a +2 Dragon Dance does like 60 to 70%. A +2 attack Scrafty does like 6 to 7% to Keldeo, so I would really enjoy Keldeo being low. Then I do have extra sensory to actually deal with that Keldeo. It only does around 50%, but like I said, the U-turn from my Greninja also helps in case I do get the Toxicity up. U-turn out, second round, 24% from that turn. Wait, a little bit more, like 28%. I don't know how much U-turn does Keldeo. Could do around 10%. I don't know. This is 129 attack U-turn against Keldeo. But anyways, I U-turn. I don't like U-turn is great just because I can maintain my stash as well. And then Water Shuriken. Because my Uxie is likely not going to be able to beat the Charizard one-on-one, I want to have the Water Shuriken and the E-Speed on my Zygarde to be able to remedy a Charizard that's very low. And I don't want to be forced to go into my Zygarde every time something is low. So having Water Shuriken on my Greninja does give me options when there is a Pokemon that's low, and I don't want to go to Zygarde because he still has, like, let's say he has a Pokemon that really deals well with Zygarde. Let's say it's a Rotom that I don't want him to defog, but Greninja can bluff and attack. So I'd rather go to Greninja. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that is my team. I'm very, very tired. The battle will likely go up tomorrow. Sorry that it's so late, but I really was not feeling the GBA, and Monotui he couldn't play on the weekdays anyway, except if it's on Showdown, and I really didn't want to upload Showdown for a playoff battle. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like. Peace.